Cedar Point is a fantastic amusement park located in Sandusky, Ohio. The park has tons of rides and attractions, including 15 operating roller coasters. We'll talk about you in a different video. There's a good chance you probably want to go here just after hearing about this place, and you wouldn't be the only one. In fact, nearly 4 million people make the trip out to Sandusky to experience this park every single year. This creates some huge crowds that are nearly impossible to avoid. This park has gotten to the point where it experiences what I like to call the Disney effect, which basically means the park is crowded no matter what day of the week you go. You could go on a Saturday and you will probably have to wait around 3 hours for Steel Vengeance, or you could go on a Tuesday or Wednesday and you'll probably wait almost as much. Even a ride like Corkscrew, a coaster that has been around for over 45 years, may draw lines of up to an hour. Luckily, there's a few things you can do to avoid this insanity, or at least minimize it. One thing you can do is purchase Fastlane or Fastlane Plus. Fastlane will allow you to skip the lines on just about everything except for the most popular rides like Steel Vengeance or Maverick, which you'll need to purchase Fastlane Plus for. However, this isn't a very economical option, as Fastlane Plus can cost you up to $200 on peak days. Another thing that can help you avoid the crowds is good planning, which is something I didn't have the advantage of on my most recent experience at the park, or at least I thought I would. I was in Ohio on Saturday morning in May for a soccer game, and I was planning on spending the latter half of the day on Saturday and the majority of the day on Sunday at the park. My goal was to ride all the big coasters at the park, but my goal wasn't looking very achievable when I was rained out of the final 4 hours on Saturday, which led to me getting 0 rides that day. In order to maximize the 6 hours I had at the park, I purchased Fastlane Plus. Looking back on it, it may have not even been necessary, but that's up to you to decide, so let's get into the video. What's up everybody, we made it. Finally into a park in 2022 after 5 months of not being able to go to parks. But we're here at Cedar Point, we're here in Sandusky, Ohio, and we're coming in a bit late, but we're gonna have some fun today. Have a short little vlog for you guys, and it should be fun. So we just got off Magnum XL 200 for my first ride of the season. It was pretty good, a little rough, had some good air time, but yeah, really fun ride. It kind of beat me up a little bit for the first ride of the year. But yeah, we're moving on to the next ride. And unfortunately it won't be Top Thrill Dragster because that is closed for the 2022 season, but hopefully they get it open. If not, they replace it with something good. But yeah, we're gonna head towards Maverick soon. So I just got off Maverick. That was a fantastic ride in the back row. Had tons of airtime, tons of good forces, positives, even lateral forces. That might be back in my top 10, I'm not quite sure. But man, that was fantastic. We're gonna go pick up Fastlane now and probably try to do Steel Vengeance if the line's not too long. All right, so we just did Steel Vengeance in the 3rd row. The airtimes I went a little bit sharper up towards the front, but not as sustained, I would say, but still a world-class ride. Probably still my #1, especially once I hopefully get a chance to do it closer to the back later. But now we're gonna head over toward Money and Force, and we'll see where the day takes us. All right, so we just got off Money and Force. It was pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of this ride, but it's got a couple of good airtime moments, some fun turns. Now, the first turn's actually really intense. I got tunnel vision on that, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, this ride, it's pretty fun. So I just got off Rougarou. It was pretty mediocre. I mean, people who hate this ride, I don't really get it. I mean, the first stop's fun, the loop's fun, but everything else is just kind of okay. It's a little bit head-banging, but you know, it's a solid ride. All right, so I just got a Valraven and Blue Streak. They were both pretty solid rides. Blue Streak had some janky airtime moments, as I like to call it, but yeah, I enjoyed that. And Valraven was really fun as well. It wasn't as rough as I remembered, and had some fun moments, and that roll's always great. I just got off Raptor, and this is definitely one of my favorite inverts now. That was so intense. The pods are just so awesome, and the 0G roll was amazing. And we barely got trimmed at all in the mid-course, so that was just a freaking fantastic ride. It's probably pushing my top 50 after that ride, to be honest. Alright, so I just got up Gatekeeper in the second row, and it was pretty fun, about how I remembered it from last year. Some decent positive G's, a little bit of airtime. All around a good package overall ride. But now we're head towards Gemini and finish out the day toward the back of the park. Alright, we took another ride on Gemini and we won easily. Now we're gonna go head toward the back of the park to finish out our day. Alright, I just got a Maverick again, and that was freaking fantastic. It's definitely in my top 10. I'm not sure how high I rank it, but it's up there, and it's a great coaster. It makes me want to go experience more of those Intamin Blitz coasters, but man, that is a fantastic attraction. Oh my god, I just got a back row ride on Maverick, which was fantastic. 10 out of 10. I just said that a few minutes ago. And then I got a back row ride on Steel Engines. You could feel the 30 seconds of sustained airtime. It felt like there was more. The first like 3 hills are all like 3-4 seconds of sustained ejector. And the rest of the hills, you know, 1-2 seconds pops, and then there's, you know, a couple sustained turns. But man, that is fantastic. That's definitely staying as my number 1 for now, at least. And it's gonna be tough for anything in the world to beat that beast right over there. As you can see, I was very happy with my day at Cedar Point, and looking back on it, it was probably my favorite day I've ever had at Cedar Point. One thing I'm sure a lot of you caught is that I mentioned I purchased Fastlane Plus, and that's true. The main reason I did this was because of the limited time I had at the park. However, there were maybe 3 rides where it made a big difference on. Steel Vengeance was clocking about a 45 to 60 minute wait at most throughout the day, and I waited about 10 to 15 minutes with the pass. Maverick was probably closer to about an hour from what I could tell, and I waited maybe 5 minutes with Fastlane. Valraven probably had about a 30 to 40 minute wait that I was able to skip, and Millennium Force had about a 20 to 30 minute wait, but there's a merge point for Fastlane users on that one, so it didn't save us that much time. Beyond that, everything was about a 10 minute wait or less. Some rides were even straight up walk-ons. I was a bit lazy that day in terms of the time that I got there because I was waiting for my family, but realistically speaking, I probably could have went to Valraven or Millennium Force right at 9 AM for early entry, and probably could have done both. Then I could have walked over to Steel Vengeance for rope drop. If you wanted to ride every major coaster that day without Fastlane, it probably would have been very possible. I was able to get re-rides on Maverick and Steel Vengeance, so I think without Fastlane I still could have done those once, and probably would have only had to cut 1 ride out like Valraven. My point being that I still definitely could have had a great ride count even without Fastlane, and the only reason I purchased it was so I could ride Steel Vengeance and Maverick a few times each. My biggest takeaway from that visit was that May is easily the best time to visit Cedar Point in most cases. The only times I'd avoid visiting in May are Memorial Day weekend and opening weekend, but other than that, there's a lot of good days to visit in May. I visited on a weekend, so I can only imagine what a Thursday that same week may have looked like with school still in session. If you visited Cedar Point in May, let me know how it went, as it's something I may look to do again in the future. If you enjoyed this vlog and commentary hybrid, make sure to like the video, so I know to do more videos like this in the future. If you'd like to see more Cedar Point and amusement park content, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. With all that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.